she sees that she was given this guitar and suddenly she's not even certain that it's for her. What happens? She would either handle it casually or too carefully. When you're given something, something happens to you, you think about this and you're like, okay, this thing that I am giving right now is not mine. So that's for some people's mindset. They're like, it is not my own. So why should I really look after it? Why should I really take care of it like that? While for some other persons, when they receive something like that, which it is not theirs, they start to treat it too carefully. You don't want to mess it up. I was given this guitar by somebody and it is not mine. It doesn't, I am not certain that it is mine. I wasn't told that it is mine. I am not aware that it is mine. I was just given. So you begin to treat it too carefully. You are afraid that if you play it, if you just touch any of these strings, it's going to cut. You are taking it too carefully. So you don't want to hurt it. You don't want to use it too much. Another thing that you can notice is that you are not trying to invest into it. And when I say you're not trying to invest into it, I mean, you're not trying to invest your emotions. You're not trying to get too attached to that gift. You're not trying to put so much effort into taking care of it. So investment is close to zero regarding it because you're not even certain that it is yours. Another thing that happens is you hesitate to use it fully. You hesitate to use this fully, which is what I already even talked about at the first instance. You are given a guitar and you're scared that if anything happens to this thing, it is over for you. The owner is not even the owner. The person who gave you might necessarily not be the owner, but the person who gave you might scold you. So you are very careful that, oh, let me not use this thing very well so that it's not going to spoil. You wait for instructions. You are given something, so you just wait endlessly. You're like, okay, what am I even supposed to do with this thing? You're busy spiraling because you're not even certain that this thing is for you. So you are busy hiding. You are busy staying in the realm of, oh, let me wait for this person to say something about this thing they gave me before I start using it. Another thing that happens is that you use it once in a while. If your friend gives you, let me not use a guitar now because a guitar is like kind of far-fetched. Let's say, let's say your friend gives you a shirt, borrows, let me not even say borrow, just gives you. The friend did not tell you that, okay, this is for you. And you did not ascertain that that dress is yours, that shirt is yours. So what do? You don't wear it all the time. You just wear it once in a while, so that it doesn't wear out. Another thing that happens is that you are scared to let other people see it. Now, I'm going to throw a question to us. If any one of us here has ever borrowed, let me say, shoes or clothes from our friends, and we are just like, oh, let me not wear it a lot, or let me not wear it to this place because it is not mine. So you're not fully confident in it. Can anybody relate? You don't want others to like see it with you because it's just like a one-time thing that you're using and it is not for you. Can anybody relate?
Yes, we
Can
can.
any
Or
All
I
right,
can.
thank you. All right, thank you. So this is what happens when you're not certain of your ownership over something. Okay, I think I had a network break. Can you hear me now? Please, can you hear me now? And can you see my screen? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Please let me know if you can hear me and you can see
Yes.
my screen. All right. All right.
Yes,
Thank you
we
so
can.
much. Yes. Oh, thank you. So for this girl, these are the things that happen when you're not sure of, you're not certain that you own something. But for this other one, I'm just going to make it very brief. You treat it with honor because now you are giving and you're sure that this is for you. You've been told that this thing, this guitar is yours, this shirt is yours. So you treat it with care. You don't want anything to happen to it because now you're sure that it is for you. You explore it boldly. What do I mean by this? If you're giving let's say a shirt, let me just use a shirt, for example. You want to pair it with trousers. You want, for ladies now, you want to pair it with skirt. You want to wear a jumpsuit over it because now it is yours. So you just want to explore. You want to try different ways that you can make use of it. You invest in it because you want it to look better, because it is yours, because you're certain that this thing. Okay, now let me just cite a very recent example, one that happened recently. So I know of somebody that keeps something in a store, in a particular store. That store is not ours, it's not for her, but she keeps her things there regularly. Now, the owner of that store started to put her own stuff in that particular store, and suddenly the space is not enough again. Now, the person mentioned a particular statement that I want us to listen to. She said, "Oh, I don't see the use or the reason I should be cleaning this store if I am not keeping my things there. I don't see why I should consistently take care of it, sweep the place, mop the place, if I am not making use of it, if it is not mine, if I am not keeping my stuff there." So it just shows that the amount of investment that you put in something is dependent on how aware you are of the ownership status. So you carry it with so much pride. You're not shy to wear it. If I get a shoe now with my money, I'm certain that it is mine. So when I go out there, I wear it with confidence. I am not like, okay, this is not mine. Let me better tread carefully. I am not afraid to use it powerfully because it is mine. Lastly, I am able to produce fruit from it because I am using it often. Let me use the guitar, for example. I am making use of it as often as possible because it is mine. So I'm not scared that the string is going to cut. Even if it cuts, I am certain that I would just repair it and I'll be satisfied with the way I repair it. But if it is for somebody else and it gets spoiled, even if somebody fixes it for me, I am still like unsure. I'm still like, oh my goodness, is this person not going to get mad because this thing is not mine? Now, I want us to respond if we understand the scenarios that I just painted, because this is going to set the basis for everything we're going to be talking about.
Yes, I do.
All right. Thank you. So, something is yours, you would treat it lightly. And that is just the conclusion of the things that I just explained. Ignorance makes you passive, but awareness makes you powerful and confident. Really, knowledge is power. So every result that you have will always fall to the level of knowledge you have to apply what you know, which is that knowledge. It is dependent on how much you know. Let me just give a summary. Let me just explain how this is. Let's use God, our Father, as an example. If somebody is not aware that God is their Father, there is so much that God will be able to do for them. And it is respect to how much they know Him. If I'm aware that God is my Father, I am able to go easily to His presence to ask for anything because I have this mentality that God is my Father. But if I am not aware, there will be just so little I'll be able to make use of with respect to that access. So what I'm trying to explain here is that if you're not aware that you own your voice, that you have the responsibility over everything that happens through the things that you say, the things that you do, that you have that full responsibility. You treat it just anyhow. You treat it passively. You will not be able to invest so much in it to produce results. The results that you have is dependent on the knowledge that you have. The results that you have, or just check around things that you are doing, the outcome that you have currently, it still falls down to the level of the knowledge that you have. So this is to encourage us to start getting aware of who we truly are. Because when we are aware, we are able to change our behavior, the things that we do, the things that we say, and how well we are able to materialize our voice. And remember that I said that your voice is not just the things that you're saying with respect to, let's say, voiceovers, public speaking. Your voice really is your purpose. And I've already said it that at some point in your life, you've had to explain yourself. You've had to share ideas. You've had to impact people specifically with words. Your voice goes beyond the sound that it makes. Your voice really, it is how you translate your purpose in life. So when you're not aware that you own your voice, we are not aware that you can explore anyhow, any way you can go ahead to say things boldly. When you're not certain of the ownership of your voice, it is going to affect how you express yourself. It is going to affect how you express yourself. And if you're not able to express yourself the way you should, you would be limited in how you fulfill your purpose. So, owning your voice and making a maximal use of it stems from your identity. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? You'd really realize that for people that are scared to share their opinions, to say things that they feel like they should say, they're not really sure of what they carry. When you're sure of what you carry, when you're confident in yourself, when you're confident in who you really are, in your identity, sharing your opinion will not be scary to you. Because you know for a fact that this thing that you're saying, if anybody hears it, their lives will be better for it. So owning your voice and making a maximal use of it stems from a place of strong identity. Who are you? You cannot multiply what you have not owned. You cannot multiply what you have not owned. If I start to get confidence in myself, in my identity, I start to share my opinions, I start to share my thoughts, that is the way I gain influence. That is the way my voice will multiply in people's minds. But if I am not even talking about these things, there's no way I'll be visible enough, audible enough to multiply my thoughts, my ideologies, my mindsets, my voice in people's minds. So if you have not owned your voice, if you are not convicted in your own belief system, if you are not convicted in your own identity, there is no way you'll be able to multiply your influence. Because people are not fools. We are not dummies. We follow people who are sure. We follow people who are convicted. We don't just follow blindly. So until you realize who you truly are, there is little you'd be able to do with respect to impacting or influencing lives. And I wrote here that you cannot monetize what you have not mastered. Remember the illustration that I made with respect to guitar. When you start to make use of that guitar like it is mine, you explore. And the more you explore, the better you are at that skill. And when you're not better at a skill, when you're not skillful in your craft, there is no way people want to pay you for the job that you do. So quality stems from practice. Quality stems from mastering. And you are able to master something that is for you. You cannot make use of something that is not yours in a way that you would make use of it if it is for you. I don't know if you understand. See, if I have a perfume right now, the way I will make use of it will be different from the way I would make use of a friend's perfume. Do you get what I'm trying to explain? Please let me know if you are following me. Please, I really appreciate your feedbacks.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Yes. So it is something that you have mastered that you can monetize. I discovered how, while prepping for this webinar, I discovered how that people are chasing, oh, I want to be impacting people. People are chasing, I want to be an influence. They are looking towards making money. I understand that we want to make impact. Of course, nobody wants to be forgotten. Of course, nobody wants to be, most people want to be in the limelight. Most people want to be wealthy, make the money. But little do they know that before you be able to say you are making impact, before you be able to say you are influencing people's lives, before you be able to say that you want to be wealthy and do all of these things, you need to realize that a strong sense of identity is what you need first. Because I've already said that there is no way you can properly influence and impact people without a strong form of convictions that this is for you. You have been placed here to do this. Voice is your purpose. I just want, if you can even replace it, when I say voice, just think about purpose. Because how you express your purpose, you speak. You speak. You speak your ideas to life. You cannot impact people with what you hide. Like I said, a friend gives you a shirt to wear, and you're like, oh, you don't want to wear it to this place because it is not for you. Let people not see you wearing this thing that is not yours. And just replace that with a skill that you have, with a gift that you have. If you continue to hide it, how do you think it will change people? How do you think it will shift people? How do you think it's going to shift industries, people that you have been sent to, if you continue to hide it? So you must realize that to own your voice, you should have a strong sense of conviction that this thing that you're doing, you should be doing it. You should be doing it. Now, who are you? This is a question that is not answered passively. For you to get to know who you really are, it is an active form of exercise. You don't just wake up and know who you are. You search for who you are. Who you are unfolds carefully, with intentionality. So knowing who you are helps you to use your voice purposefully. You cannot say you are making impact, you are influencing, you are just doing all of these here and there with your voice, and you are lacking peace, you are lacking clarity, you are lacking a sense of fulfillment. When you know who you are able to streamline your voice to using it the way you actually should. Now, you would never find someone whose path is the same as yours. And so your definition of success or impact must not be a generic or inspired one. What do I mean by this? People are like, okay, they are making impact. What is your definition of that impact? Are you sure it is not the definition that somebody has? If somebody is saying, oh, they already have a success at this thing, are you sure that what you have is a success? Are you sure that you are not using the parameter that somebody else is using to describe or define what your own definition of success is? So we must be intentional about defining what success really means to us. If you continue to live in an inspired definition of success, you will continue to be in a loop of uncertainty, and this basically doesn't give your voice value. It doesn't give your voice the strength that it needs to impact people's lives, because you are unsure and people are not ready to follow someone that is unsure. If I say I want to have a mentor in any field right now, I'm looking for someone that knows what they are doing. So for you to actually discover that, okay, I know the path that I am treading to be the correct one, you should be able to define your own success. Know what success means to you. This is what gives you a strong conviction that you are using your voice purposefully, not just because somebody else is using it, not just because somebody used their voice in this particular way, they made a lot of money from it. Now you want to use your voice that same way because you want to get that kind of result. So living an inspired definition of what success is not going to give your voice a solid ground to impact people. It reveals how you live in a borrowed or imitated copy of greatness. You can say imitated copy of success, but everyone should have a definition of what success is to them in order to have a voice that impacts, that influences people. And we're able to influence people. Let me just put this here. We're able to influence people when you're able to shift people's lives, you're able to add value to their lives. Honestly, there is no amount of money that will be too great for them to drop for the value that you have to offer. And money is even just one of the so many benefits of shifting and impacting people with your voice, with your purpose. Money is just one out of many relationships, accesses to corridors that you would never have had access to. Now, what I explained about the definition of success, it is one of the most important reasons you must have a personal and well-defined meaning of success. Because if you're not sure of what success really means to you, your voice is not going to be convincing enough to impact people and influence them in the right direction. It removes pressure. It takes off the scales, or it takes the scales off your eyes. It removes the barrier against your voice, your thoughts and ideas. So you're not like, am I saying it right? Am I passing the right information? Because you already have a conviction of what you are doing. And like I said, if you're doing something and in quotes, people are just applauding you, they're clapping for you, they're saying, oh, she's shifting nations, and it's not bringing you peace. You're not having clarity. You know, there is a way you can actually speak in front of 1,000 people. And what happens is that after that, everybody is clapping for you. They're like, go girl, go girl. You just finished speaking to 50 people. Oh, wow. You just finished impacting 1 million people. Great. That's beautiful. But to what end is it when you get home and you're unhappy? To what end is it when you get home and you're like, oh, am I even supposed to be doing this? That is not impact. Impact should entail a sense of fulfillment that, oh, now I am so excited that people's lives are changing. Not that you lose your peace on account of, in quotes, people saying you are impacting. So it brings you so much peace and clarity that the world cannot give and cannot take from you if you have a definition of what success means to you. I don't know, I'm really emphasizing this, but I just want to believe that this is for somebody here. Now, the process of you actually getting to know who you are, it is important for you to what's that word now? It is important for you to make use of your voice in a way that impacts people. So without a true form sense of identity, it is hard. And this is what I've been emphasizing. And in order to know who you truly are, this is not far-fetched. It is not a complicated thing. You should realize that anything that is created has something that created it. So basically, you were created. And how to truly get to know who you are is by getting to understand first and foremost that you didn't create yourself. So if you didn't create yourself, it means that there is something before you. There is something before your existence. And so the first thing to actually get to know who you are, the first thing for you to do is to first and foremost, get saved. I don't even know if I'm speaking to believers right now, but this is truly how you get to know who you are. If you don't have a strong form of identity, it will be difficult for you to make the kind of impact that you should be making. You can be making all the money, right? You can be doing all the things that people count as success, but to what end when you lack a sense of fulfillment? Now, it doesn't end at salvation. It doesn't end at you getting saved. What does it mean to be saved? To believe in the name of Jesus. That is what it means to get saved. To get saved means to believe in everything that Jesus Christ did. And you literally are like, okay, he died for my sins, rose again, all of this for my sake, and now I get to have eternal life just because of this. So the first thing to getting to understand your identity is you getting to have a restored relationship with the Lord who created you. And having this restored relationship is on the basis of you first and foremost getting saved. Because we do not know who we are outside God. We can never know who we are outside God. And it doesn't end with salvation. It leads to you getting transformed into who you truly are. And it is when you know who you truly are that you'll be able to fully express your identity. And it is when you are able to fully express your identity, you'll be able to influence and impact people the way you should. Because I tell you, so many people are out there saying that they are impacting lives, saying that they are influencing, shifting cultures, getting wealthy and everything. Yet, they feel a very huge sense of void, a huge sense of unfulfillment. But it is to what end, really? So getting to know who you truly are, your identity, will lead you to impacting lives the way you should. Now, to using your gifts, your ideas, and your stories to build influence, impact lives, and actually, in every sense of that word, make money, get comfortable, overflow to blessing lives. How can you make use of this? How can you do this? How can you do this? I want to remind us again that you cannot multiply what you have not owned. What exactly are we talking about here? You realizing that this voice that you have, it is your purpose. It is the way you express your purpose. And you cannot multiply it if first and foremost you are not even certain that it is yours. If you do not have a strong conviction of your identity, to be able to multiply your reach, to be able to multiply your influence over people, you need to know that people are not fools. It might look like you have this following, but it's going to be for a very short time. But to what end are we going to be building things that are not sustainable? So I'm reminding us again that for you to say you want to multiply your reach, for you to say that you want to shift lives, so many lives, you want to influence people, you want to make the great wealth, you need to discover first and foremost that this lies in your identity. In your identity. It is your identity that you find your purpose. And it's through your purpose that you are able to impact people the way you should. And I'm going to be expanding later. Actually, we have a few slides to go. Expanding later on how we can actually do these things. People just want to monetize. People just want to do these things that, bring them money. But you need to realize that whatever it is that you are going to be monetizing with respect to making impact and influencing people, it is something that you have done over time, that you have mastered. Owning your voice, getting to own your identity, getting to own your whatever it is that you're going to be using as a tool to impacting people's lives is something that you must have been using consistently. And you cannot have a sense of, let me be using it carefully. You have to be audacious about it. Nobody follows people who do not know what they are doing. So if you say you want to be monetizing a skill or something that is with respect to how you want to influence people, how you want to impact lives, it is something that you must have been doing consistently, that you must have been mastering. And you cannot master something that you're not sure that is for you. And you cannot impact people with what you hide. I'm trying to remind us this point. Now, how can you actually make use of your gifts? What exactly are your gifts? What comes naturally to you? To me, it is speaking. Speaking comes so easily to me. I did not learn the art of communicating before I started to use my voice to help people, use my voice to take people from a phase of their lives to another. It is something that comes naturally to me. And I know for a fact, for a truth, that every one of us have something that we uniquely express, something within us that we do so effortlessly that not so many people can do. Can you find that? Can you find the strength of yours and stay with it? And stay with it. You will discover that the influence that you want to have, the impact that you want to make, lies in the simplicity of your gift. The influence that you say you want to have, the lot of money, the blessings that you want to receive, lies in your gifts. Lies in your gifts. What naturally comes to you, you know these things. Just that we do not always take time to introspect. We do not always take time to think about it. What do you effortlessly do better than anyone else? What kind of questions do people ask you often? And you provide clear-cut answers to, and you give them clarity. You know these things. One way or the other, maybe some of your friends have asked, oh, what do you think about this thing? And they go ahead to make use of the advice you gave them, and they have results. Look around these things. These are your gifts. When you use your gift, you unlock platforms. I have seen this thing play out a lot. I've seen this thing play out a lot in my life, like a lot, vivid. I just discovered that I like to speak. And when I speak, people are changed. They come back to me and they are telling me, oh my goodness, I needed to hear that. Thank you so much for this. And I'm like, I just said I should just say this thing. No, it was not really, really deep like that. I just said I should do this. Those things that you just say you should do, why not try it consistently and see what happens? See, maybe doors will not begin to open for you. You are not to be chasing after, I want to influence. You're not to be chasing after, I want to impact. You are not to be chasing after, I want to make money. That very thing that you have already, how faithfully are you using it? How faithfully are you making use of it? All these opportunities that we are looking for, all these, somebody recently said to me that I should plug her in, that how am I getting opportunities like this? How am I doing this, and that with my life? And I'm like, this is what I do. This is what I do. It's because I'm showing up with my gifts. God is seeing me that I'm not a pastor, sorry, but with everything that I am saying, I'm seeing how that it revolves around God. And that necessarily doesn't mean that I am being religious. I hope you understand this. It just really shows that there is no form of impact, no form of influence, no form of true sustainable blessing that we would get outside God. If this webinar is going to lead you back to a tangible relationship with God, to a sustainable one, then that's a success for me. So when you use your gift, you unlock platforms. Opportunities come to you like water. This thing that people are saying now, like water. People are entering others' DMs that can I speak in this thing? Can you invite me? No, use your gifts consistently first. You will discover other opportunities. In fact, you'll be tired of the opportunities. In fact, I'm not saying I'm tired, but I have been so stretched just on the account of making use of my gifts. I don't know why I am emphasizing this, but somebody has to go back after this webinar and just go and look within. Look at those things that you do and just start showing up with your gifts. God will count you faithful enough to expand you in ways that your mind will not even be able to fathom. When you use your gifts, you transform lives. I have seen this play out consistently, and I am so grateful to God for the privilege to impact people. I am not even aware sometimes of the things that I do. And it's just because I am using these gifts. I'm just being faithful. And idea drops in my mind. Fast, I execute. And I see that it is for a particular person or for a set of people. This is how you actually shift lives. This is how you impact people. Impacting people is not grand. Impacting people is not until you stand in United Nations as a thought leader You know, this thing that this idea of, you get invited in countries to speak, to share your opinions. Fine, that is impact. But impact necessary, that's not the peak of impact. We should not always see impact as I am standing in front of 1 billion people with mic. Impact is in what I am doing right now. To how many people are on the call? To 5 people. Impact is what I am doing right now. Speaking to 1 person. Impact is what I am doing. Speaking to the 5 views that I have on WhatsApp, for example. Impact is what I do when I consistently show up with the gifts that I have for the sake of providing solutions, making people better than they were before they met me. When you use your gift, you create value that people will exchange resources for. It is not going to be difficult for people to pay. See, these things that I'm saying are not theoretical. There are things that I have seen. A few months ago, I was reached out to by someone to teach his teams on communication and on personal branding and storytelling. And really, it wasn't that I have been, it wasn't that I am an expert on this thing. It's just because I have been constantly making use of it. I am just teaching by myself on status, just talking to people consistently. They ask me questions and I respond with intentionality, not a vague response. So I look within and actually give people answers. And suddenly this person is a leader and he sees that I am freely doing this thing and I am intentional about creating value that will actually shape people. And he was willing to pay me. I don't want to say the amount, but he was willing to pay me this huge amount to train his teams. This money that we are all chasing after is not what we should be doing. We should be chasing after consistently refining the gifts that we already have. God will bless you anywhere He has planted you. He will bless you anywhere He has planted you. So instead of seeking after the outcome, why not seek after the process that leads to the outcome first and see maybe blessings will not choke you? Your gifts are not optional. You should not decide whether or not you want to make use of it. You should be making use of it. God has given you the passion to write for a reason. He has given you the passion to speak for a reason. You know how to create these things for a reason. Now, for your ideas, I don't know about you, but for me, ideas come to me especially after I just finished praying or when I am still. And I've discovered how that truthfully, a relationship with God provides the clarity that our souls desire. You see, confusion is not from God. Confusion stems from a lack of intimacy with God. And when we start to see how do I put this now? When we start to see our work with God not as a means to an end, but as a means to shaping us into everything that He has actually created us to be, we discover that a lot can happen to us, to our minds. Your mind can expand. Chase after your work with God first and discover whether or not extraordinary ideas will not come to you. I have seen this play out. Ideas are blueprints for your destiny. See, it can be as simple as an idea coming to your mind. To start a 20-day challenge, to post a particular video, to record something, to write a newsletter, to upload something on your status. You will not know in that moment that this thing is linking to a bigger picture for your future. But if you don't act on it, there is no way that idea will expand for who God has actually created you to become, for that idea to actually flourish. Ideas are the strategies that God uses to bring you fully into His purposes for your life. Ideas can just come seemingly tiny, like, okay, it's just this thing now. How is this thing really necessary? It is extremely important for the future that God has created for you. Ideas are like skeletons for the mountains of influence that God has called you to influence. Do we know the mountains of influence? Mountains of influence, there are 7. We have the family and relationship. Is God calling you towards the family area, towards the relationship? Is it calling you to media and news? Is it calling you to arts and entertainment? Is it calling you to politics and government? Is it calling you to education, to go and shift what it means to take over the mountain of education? Is it calling you to ministry, religion, for example? God has actually placed each and every one of us in specific places to influence. And every time God wants you to take action, He wants you to execute, and He gives you ideas. Just that sometimes you're just scared to carry out these ideas because, of course, we have not mastered our identity. You have not mastered your place, what you have been called to do. When you master it, fear will be close to zero. When you master it, you are aware that what you are going to do is not because you enjoy doing it, but because there is a bigger purpose to it, attached to it. When ideas come to you, you're not just seeing it as not just idea now, not just this thing, but you should be aware that it is for something that is bigger than you. As little as posting something is, as little as it is one of those, the way we have mathematical sets. Yes, it is like a compass. It's like a set it's like one of those things that are inside mathematical sets. Yes, it is what makes up. It's like a puzzle. Yes, let me just put it that way. It is like a puzzle. That you feel so strongly that this is what you are supposed to be doing. What is that idea? I have a call, but I will just have to call him back. I have a call right now. I hope he doesn't call me. And I hope I finish this thing on time, actually. Please, are you still following me? Please let me know if you are still here.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, thank you so much. So, where did I stop? Ideas. Okay. So, what idea do you have currently, like right now? Your journals are filled with ideas, but you are not really aware of your identity. That's why. That is why ideas are still piling up. Because if you realize where God has actually called you to go and influence, you will not take ideas lightly. You will take it like your life actually depends on, because your life really depends on it. And how does your life really depend on it? See, this is where God's blessing really is for you. When you actually face your purpose, everything you're seeking after, like money, they run after you. Everything you're seeking after, like impact, influence, they will actually run after you when you chase after your purpose in life. The peace and clarity that you need, they will stay with you, and the world will not be able to take it away from you if you chase your purpose in life. This is where your blessing is, your security is in your purpose. Now, what are your ideas meant to do? They are meant to solve problems. There's no idea that will drop in your heart. Now, remember that I started with, you first have to have a restored relationship, because this is how you know your identity. Anybody who right now doesn't have hasn't been restored back into a relationship with God, they are not sure of their identity yet, and it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. You will just be moving about with void in your heart. You are scared of what the future holds. You are just panicking. And this is one of the reasons people commit suicide. It's because they just feel empty. They feel empty. They're just looking after Now, so results. But beyond the results, there are things that should be put in place before all these results, before you start seeing all these results. And one of the most important, in fact, the first most important, which is the entry point to anything at all that you will want to have in this life, impact or influence or income or anything at all, is first and foremost, know your identity. And how do you do it? A restored relationship with God. Now, your ideas are meant to solve problems. All the ideas that you have, you will discover that it is to change somebody's life. Oh. It is to change somebody's life. And guess what? It might not be one person. And not everybody will respond that, oh, you shifted them, your content helped them, this thing happened to them. Not everybody. But you should be aware that every idea that comes to you like that to make use of, it leads to changing people. It leaves them better than they were. It can be a simple caption on your Instagram. Or it can be a simple caption on your WhatsApp. It is doing something to somebody. Do not take these things lightly. Your ideas shift industries and the lives of people. I already mentioned that your ideas are like skeletons for the mountains of influence that have been called to change, to shape. To shape. Their skeletons does not mean it doesn't mean they are not big enough to change systems. They are like puzzles. Does not mean they are not big enough to shift the world. It looks like a pin. Your idea looks like a drop of water. Does not mean it's not enough to cater for a nation. It is, see, ideas here and there. The way it's dropping, we should be intentional about closing that huge gap between an idea that we have and execution. We should be very, very intentional. Because when ideas stay too long in our minds without executing, what happens is that it fails. It fails as confusion sets in. I don't know if you can relate, but whenever I act on any idea at all, I get more clarity. It's like my mind opens brighter. It's like I already know what to do for the next thing I should be doing. When you execute these ideas, before you know it, you are very aware of how you have been called to influence and change people's lives significantly and sustainably. Ideas create new expressions you never thought your mind could conceive. Actually, this is what I just explained. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, let me just act on this thing. And before you know it, it is leading to something bigger. I have a voice brand. It started as just voiceovers. Beyond that, I started to see how that, this thing is already bigger than what I thought it would. There is more to this thing beyond what I thought it was. What if I did not act on that idea to just begin? I would not. Oh, please let me know if you can still hear me. I'm almost done. I had a call again. Please let me know if you're following.
Yes, I can. I'm still following.
All right, thank you. So, and ideas attract opportunities for their expansion. What do I mean by this? I'm so sorry. I had to pick the call so that it was my dad that called, and it's my parents. I had to call him to let him know that I am currently in a meeting. So, sorry for the break in transmission. We are actually almost done. Please let me know if you're still following me. And have we been
Yes, you're
getting
welcome.
blessed so far?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you. So, okay. Now, to your story. See, life is actually going to show us that we cannot do life ourselves. And this is where God steps in. If everything that happens in your life, you have an explanation for it, then I am sorry. It's like you're, let me not say but if for a person, everything that happens to them, they can explain it logically, then where is the place of God in their lives? Like, see, there is a part where you play your part, but there is this grace component that must follow you everywhere you go. For every area of our lives, there is a grace component to it. And so this is what makes our story very unique. All of the lessons that you learn, all of the transformations that happen on your journey, they are unique to you. And you should know that this is, in quotes, the USP, the unique selling point of anything that you do. Your story will never be the same as someone else's. The way we express greatness, the way we express purpose, they are different. The way Miss IBK will express her purpose in life will be totally different from the way I will. And so it is our story that actually truly sets us apart. Why? We did not attend the same primary school. We did not attend the same secondary school. We have different exposures. We are from different family backgrounds. Different things have happened to us during the course of our journeys. And so when we begin to share our stories with people, we are able to connect with them better. Why? Some of them have passed, some of them are going through things that we already went through. And we must begin to see the things that we go through as, this is not just about me. You'll be shocked. Actually, you shouldn't be shocked, but you will actually be shocked when you discover that something that happened to you a day ago, which is an experience for me, actually, what I'm explaining, something that has happened to me over and over again. I experienced something like a few days ago, and I learned from it. I picked a lesson from it, and suddenly somebody is reaching out to me 2 days later about the same thing. And I'm like, God, I beg. So these tough moments that I went through was because of just this one person. It's because God is seeing you as a vessel that is worthy of being used. He's seeing you that whenever you experience a challenge or a failure, in quotes, you are not just seeing it as, beg, whatever will be, Abi. It's not just, he knows that you will not see it as that. He knows that you will see it and pick a lesson for it because you have a mind of God. The kind of mind that you have is God-like. God does not just think about himself. Everything that you go through is not just about you. When you share your story, what happens? You have access to the souls of people. The seat of our emotions is our soul. And here is where transformation takes place in our souls. And remember that there's something that storytelling does to people. If I can relate with you, if we can talk and I'm able to see myself in what you're communicating, do you think I will not listen and pay attention to you? And just like that, you gain access to the souls of people, to transform them, to change their mind constructs, to influence them, to impact them in beautiful ways. So do not be afraid to tell your stories. Your story doesn't have to be interesting. Your story can be shameful. But it's because you are in a better position. That is why you can tell that story in the first place. Your people need the authenticity in your story. So don't edit it. Don't edit your story. That it is in the authenticity that people see deliverance. It is in the authenticity that people are able to give you better access to them in order to change them, to shift them, to gain access to their minds. So don't edit your story. Don't edit it. Don't edit your processes. Let them know the challenges that you have gone through. I once served in a particular association, and moving to the following tenure, I had to tell my successor that, man, it wasn't easy for me. I told her all of my flaws, everything that I experienced, the good, the bad, everything. I had to let her know. If I was not interested in impacting her, if I was not interested in influencing her the right way, if I was not interested in an intentional growth for her, I would not tell her all of these things. I just tell her the good parts and not really tell her about my struggles. But it was important because this is what will help me gain access into giving her, releasing everything that God has deposited in me for that office. There is no way you would be able to release the grace that is upon you for everything that God has said, for everything that God is said to do with you for people, if you are not authentic about what you say, if you're not truthful about your story. Now, what are the action points that I will let us know that we can go home with, that we can just immediately act on? Write the key turning points in your story. What do I mean by this? There are moments where God taught you significant things that you were like, oh, more, my life actually really changed. I got intentional about my life from this moment. It was when I met this man that my life changed. It was when I heard this speaker say this thing that something happened to me. Just know those key turning areas in your life. Those moments that you know for a fact that you actually outgrew different versions of yourself. This thing will require you to sit down and think. It will require you to be still and meditate. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Was it something that a friend did that changed your perspective about life? Include them and write them down. Because this is what will shape the stories that you're going to be telling as time goes on. As time goes on. Get to know what you stand for. What are your core values? What are your core values? You say you want to change people. You want to impact lives. You want to shift the culture. You want to do all of these great and amazing things. That's good. It is good to desire these things. But if you are not well rooted in your belief system, if you're not well rooted in your internal values, what are your internal values? Like your thought pattern, your integrity, honesty, honor for people. Not that when they give you access now, because you're already impacting lives, you suddenly get familiar and that's how you lose access. No. What do you stand for? Know your qualities, your internal values. Get to really be solidified in the convictions that you have of yourself. Do not believe lies about yourself. And how do you know that some things are lies about yourself? Vetting it with the word of God. Vetting it with the word of God. This is your template for life. God is the wisdom. Jesus is the wisdom for everything you need to do on this earth. He has supplied everything. Get to know who you truly are. Impact will be vague. Impact and influence, even wealth. Anyway, wealth is a lot. Wealth can be your health, your relationships, money. But these things will look vague to you if you really are not sure why you are even doing what you are doing. What is the motive behind the things that you do? Identify your primary gifts. What comes effortlessly to you? I've talked about this. For me, it is speaking. It is writing. It is creating. Know your gifts and stay on your strengths instead of focusing on your weaknesses. Lastly, learn the business of your gifts or any skill that you have. It is not enough to learn voiceover. Have you learned the business? It is not enough to learn photography. Have you learned the business? It is not enough to learn writing. Have you learned the business? Learn the business side of the things that you do, not necessarily the arts. I can decide to learn communication, learn public speaking and all these things. If I do not learn how to get paid for the things that I do, I've not really hit the nail on the head. And the truth is that in your journey, as you begin to impact people, shift people, influence people, and you're more intentional about the voice of God over your doings, over the deeds, over the things that people see, you discover that God will begin to give you instructions on things to do. He'll begin to lead you to doing things like, for example, how you should start to show up in spaces. Why am I saying this? In some platforms, you should go there as, oh my goodness, this is a huge privilege. Like, and God can literally instruct you to not get paid for it. See, money will chase you, but don't chase it. Don't chase it. Let your primary reason be greater than paper, which is money. Let it be greater than things that can easily fade. Let your primary reason for doing things be for a higher purpose. And you would never be able to know this higher purpose. You never be able to have this peace and clarity in these things that you do. If first and foremost, you're not aware of your identity and how you should express your identity. So this is to urge us. Guess my time is actually up. This is to urge us today to fix our hearts, to fix our gaze on what truly matters. It is beyond not to impact, not to influence. It is beyond all these things. Get to, first and foremost, be rooted in what it is that you have been called to actually do. What it is that you should be doing with respect to impact and influencing. And I strongly believe that God will begin to give us instructions on the things to do. We are not going to be stranded in this journey of unfolding, of becoming. We're not going to be stranded. If only you would recognize that there is a place that God has to play in everything that you do, with respect to your purpose, your impact, your influence, your gifts, your ideas, everything. And this is where your blessing is. Your blessing is in obedience to God. Your peace, your clarity is in obedience to God. Thank you so much, everyone. And let me know, please, if you have questions for me. Thank you for staying to the end.
Wow. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that wonderful session. Like, I was so blessed. My note is full. Thank you very much. I don't know is there anyone that has any question for her so that she can answer them right now. Do we have questions? You can unmute yourself and ask. And if you don't have question, please just say that you don't have question so that we can move on. Please, are you there?
No question.
No questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Oluwase. I was so blessed. I was so blessed by this session, and to think that you had to, despite your busy schedule, you were still able to come up with these profound insights. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So, in the absence of question, I don't know if you have any final word, and if not, we can just call it a day and then go and act on what you have told us. Miss Oluwase, do you have any final words to give us, or you are?
I can see. Okay, thank you for staying, Kende, Samuel, Peter, Adewumi. Thank you, Saz, for staying to the end. And I just want to let us know that beyond our desires, God has desires for us, and it is our responsibility to look within and see how God really wants us to fulfill his desires for our lives. I don't know if that is eating well, but like scripture will say, it is God who works in us the will and the power to do what pleases him. So it is beyond our own desire, but actually really constantly asking the Lord to do what? To fill us with the desire and the power to do what pleases him. Because this really is what brings us a full sense of fulfillment. Over anything in this life, I choose peace. I don't know about you, but over anything in this life, I choose a great sense of fulfillment because this is what keeps me going. This is what keeps me going. It's not even the money. Money will go, but this is what keeps me impacting people. This is what keeps me influencing people's lives. So thank you so much. And yeah, please have a great weekend. Do you have anything to tell me? Anything at all?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Does anyone have anything to say? Like, she has been such a great blessing to us tonight. Like, I cannot even begin to put it into words. Thank you so much. She taught us about taking ownership of our gifts, you know, developing a strong sense of identity, having a strong conviction. She talked about sharing our story, being authentic with our story. Don't edit your story, you know. Then she talked about not making money the primary aim of what we are doing, the primary purpose for what we are doing. She spoke about a lot of things that were really profound, and then most important of all, she talked about developing a relationship with God, getting saved, and then developing a walking, talking relationship with the Holy Spirit, because that is where we can begin to, find ourselves, find our identity, and stand in it. That is how we can begin to use our gifts. That's where we can get clarity to begin to use the gifts that God has given us to impact lives, to do the things, because impact is not just about you going out there and doing different things. It's about alignment. It's about you being aligned in the perfect will of God, what exactly He wants you to do at every point in time. So I can go on and on, but it has just been so powerful. Like, I am so blessed, and I'm so grateful and so happy. So I don't know, does anyone have any word to say to her? Please, you can just unmute and say it.
Hello, good evening.
Lisa.
Let's say thank you to the speaker. Thank you for choosing to impact and bless lives with your gifts. And God bless you.
Amen. Amen.
Mm.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
your
sir.
word. So I think we can call it a night now. Like, you can just put an end to the call. Thank you everyone for joining in. I do not take your presence for granted, and I believe that you have been blessed just as much as I have been blessed. Let's all have a wonderful weekend. Bye.